shield setup, but my phone is plugged in on this side of this room, side of the room, which flipped my phone, which flipped where my camera was. So I've moved my whole setup to the left on my desk to compensate for that, which gives me more room over here to actually see comments and stuff.
That is useful, I guess.
Yeah. Let me finish before you start mocking me for it.
No.
I plugged my phone in a different outlet.
That's what I heard.
Okay,
That's what I heard.
Honestly, though, it's kind of a killer feature when laptops allow you to plug in a cable to charge from either end. Like if it's USB-C or Thunderbolt or whatever the fuck it is. If you can charge from those, they can do it on either side. It's kind of nice, especially if you're forced to sit in an area where it's just crappy to run a cable that way.
Yeah, I can see that. We're late.
Indeed. We're not late. You're late.
We're not. We might be like... No, we're not late.
It's 7:16. Technically, we are late.
What? We've been live for 1 minute and 10 seconds.
That sounds made up.
We were 30 seconds late.
I hate to vouch for Joe.
He does.
But I have to say, we have been live for that long. Yeah.
It actually hurts him on a spiritual level.
There's many levels, I suppose. Black Frost, evening, sir. Evening.
Hello.
I hope things are well.
Hello.
Delicious.
Is it?
It's really good. It's made of grapefruit and beer. How could it be bad?
Because it's made of grapefruit. That was the first mistake. Yeah, I'm one of those people. I don't care for grapefruit at all.
So it's okay to be wrong.
No. No, it's not okay.
Those are some very cute otters.
Yes. They are the subject of today's debacle.
I was going to say, can we please just review them?
Just look at them, would you?
I give them 10 otters up.
They are utterly fantastic.
They are utterly fantastic.
I just can't believe the fuzz on that little one. Shit. Adorable.
Yeah, it would make a nice pair of slippers, for sure.
You'd get one
that.
slipper. You'd get one slipper.
All you need is the inside. That's where it's cozy. Get me a bit of a liner.
The inside is cozy.
So, you like the crunchy when you step, huh?
I don't know what's going on the outside. All I can tell you is what's going on the inside. It's...
Work. Hey, how's it going, Dick?
I was going to say, Dick Richards. Hello.
Oh, as much as I'd like to be reviewing these cute little animals, we got some other cute little things to review.
I'm going to be honest with you. Might be talking about knives, but I'm be thinking about these guys while I'm reviewing.
That is,
like they're even copper and kind of silver. Like it's perfect.
They got this whole color spectrum. Yeah.
I bet you they would also be distracted by copper foil. It's probably true.
Are you gonna test this out?
You gotta suspect that otters probably taste pretty fishy, right?
I don't know. Kind of oily.
Or are they utterly delicious?
Hey, I already used that pun.
I know. Double dipping, sir.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. Stealing it.
Oh well. What are you guys carrying today?
Stanson 357 CPM. Hello. What are you guys carrying today?
All y'all's.
All y'all's. I'll go first.
Okay.
Last week we didn't air because we were in BC. And when we were in BC, I carried a bunch of knives, filled up a pouch to take to mainly the brother-in-law so he could play with some toys because he's also a knife collector. Shout outs to CKG because he is a member of that group and
Cheers.
has a couple toys, but so while I was out in BC, I had to take some pretty BC pictures. And so I did. And so I was carrying my bail out.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a nice shot.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. I was going to ask about this pouch and if it was a marsupial pouch or a primordial pouch.
Which now?
He's just saying words.
I'm just talking nonsense.
What kind of pouch do you think it is?
Marsupial. Yeah.
Mild discomfort.
Yeah, a memoir.
It's just a chapter in the memoir.
Yeah, that's also true. Apparently, Black Frost is carrying his Junglist today.
Really?
You go playing in the woods, I imagine.
Damn.
I imagine that means playing in the woods. Yeah.
I would hope
imagine
so.
CPM's carrying a Todd bag with some meteorite inlays.
Yeah. Flexing. Nice. Seriously.
bit.
Super cool. Oh,
He let us know after the fact that it was a custom, in case you weren't sure.
You know, I had my doubts.
Dick Richards got the domino. That's not bad. Not bad.
In XHP?
Nice. Yeah. I think the domino has only ever been in XHP. I could be wrong about that, but I think that was one of the few models that just stuck with that steel.
I just like XHP.
Yeah.
I'm just reiterating the fact that I kind of want a domino now because now I realize they're an XHP.
Oh, no. He actually says in the brackets there, don't know if it's ever been anything else. Because Spyderco, they don't do that as often, but sometimes companies will change the steel that they're using, like cold steel. I'm not bitter.
Hey, sometimes cold steel tells you.
Sometimes they just stamp a V on it and they don't care what it is.
It was kind of like me defending cold steel, but not really.
I was just gonna say they've played both lines there for sure.
Yeah. Maybe they just changed font and it's your job to figure it out.
Oh, that's hurtful.
Accurately hurtful.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Stanson's carrying his Spyderco Clippit and a green penguin.
Sick.
And apparently Dick Richards got his domino from a pawn shop for $150.
Yeah.
I don't want a domino anymore because now I find out that they're $450. Less interested.
Well,
I think MSRP for 50, but they're not quite so high in shop normally.
Yeah, and watch out for clones because that one's definitely on the list of I seen that one in a clone factor.
That's fair.
So what do you think, Paul? You or me next?
Oh, I just screen flashed mine, so I might as well just show it.
Okay, well, neither one of you guys matter because my shot's the prettiest anyway, right? So,
look, you're in BC. That's kind of cheating.
Yeah,
not right
Easy
now.
mode.
I mean, last week. That's why we
cheating.
didn't air.
Where this photo was taken, it was taken in BC. That's cheating.
Easy mode. I had to play with light and shadows, sir. At a
And you
train
did a
station.
nice job of it. You love those
train
train station
station.
photos.
I do.
Yeah.
Rocking the Pena X Series Trapper.
I do like the way the light is playing off the side of that carbon fiber.
Agreed.
Hitting the highs and the lows. Yeah, it's nice.
I'm starting to get a pretty where's my camera? There's my camera. A pretty polished line on my bolster.
Oh, from all the carry on that one side.
Yeah. Well, just in
Or
general.
finger
pocket.
rub from deploying it.
To be honest, I think it's that too, but it spends a lot of time in a fifth pocket, just snug and rubbing.
Snug and rub.
The old snug and rub.
Is that a memoir? I hope so. It sounds like a much better read than most of the other memoirs we've been writing over the years.
There's not much reading going on.
A chapter.
It's a picture book.
The pop-up book in more than ways than one.
My eye.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
I mean,
so you ever gonna thin that edge out?
It doesn't need it. It cuts really well. It cuts way better than it should for what it is.
No.
And no,
But-
I'm not going to modify this thing.
But it would cut so much better if you thinned out that edge. Because it's kind of chonky behind the edge. It just is.
It is chunky behind the edge, but as a pocket steak knife, it doesn't need it. It zips through things.
I guess you're not trying to force that thing through cardboard all that often.
No, I don't cut cardboard with this because I don't need to scratch this knife for no reason. I have other knives to scratch.
That is the correct answer. Yes.
Don't get me wrong. I used this literally last night as a steak knife. I don't mind using it, but
you want to keep it a little pretty.
Yeah, and I mean, if I didn't have any other knife in my pocket and I needed to cut cardboard, I'm gonna cut cardboard. But I usually have more than one choice, so
That's fair.
But yeah, we talked recently about whether or not I had an M390 in my collection, and we were like, yeah, the MKM that I traded out. M390 right here. So I do have it, and I do like it.
Good stuff.
It's just a shame that it's on a knife that I'm never gonna really put to hard test.
Hard tooth.
Hard toothed.
Gonna be
those
hard
are-
choosing this knife today.
Hey, man. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel called Hard Choosing.
Hard choosing knives.
Yeah.
I might just want to cancel the stream here if this is where we're going tonight.
All right, Joe, what are you carrying?
Something I should have bought a long while ago because it's been sitting in the back room for damn near forever. I'm carrying the Deadbolt M16, specifically the, I always forget, 03DB version. So D2 Deadbolt.
Come on, how could you forget?
Yeah,
it's part of the M16 series, and it's got D2, and it's got a deadbolt and its assistant. Those are the important parts. So I've got one major complaint about this thing.
Look at you all being fancy with the rain work and the flower. Look at all that fancy bullshit.
It was nice out, so I figured I'd take a nice picture instead of my usual bullshit.
If you tint it purple enough, no one knows.
Yeah, I'll show this again in a couple weeks, but it'll be image flipped.
There you
go. So two things. This really is D2. I got it to rest in my pocket already, which I found very funny. Just on the CRKT logo. But after one spray,
yeah.
but sprayed it once with brake clean and wiped it down with paper towel, and then all gone, perfectly fine. I had to use permanent thread locker to make sure that the pivot bolt actually stays in place because it kept slipping out with
so permanent
medium.
finally worked.
Permanent was the only option, fucking unfortunately, because I tried Teflon tape, I tried the Loctite in the stick, I tried liquid thread locker, and I properly degreased between every single stage, and every time it would come loose.
The fact that Teflon tape didn't work.
That was really upsetting. I even went to the trouble of I think we were talking about it a little couple days ago. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I wonder if I could burnish Teflon tape onto the inside threading of the liner and then put Teflon tape on the barrel. I tried that, and that also did not work. I was very upset. So hopefully I never need to disassemble this thing because I don't really want to stick a soldering iron on it to heat it up, but so far, so good. Yeah. This
It's
might
okay.
act.
We'll just disassemble it a different way if we have to.
Oh,
There you go.
you're gonna assemble it permanently. We're gonna disassemble it permanently. Is that what's going on?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Look,
put
if it's
pieces
permanent-
of it back together.
It's recognizable.
Ta-da!
This was once a knife. Yeah. Interesting to note. I think the spring is actually easily accessible just by removing the top scale here. I think you can still get at the spring. So if I ever had to replace that for some reason, which I don't think I'd have to, the spring's beefy. This might actually be my favorite assisted knife, like probably ever.
Really?
Yeah, even
With
over
that
my
fancy Benchmade you got.
even over the fancy Benchmade. Yeah, yeah. It's upsetting that I like it this much. I think I like the profile on the Benchmade more, but combined with the Deadbolt, I don't know. I think I like this a bit more than the Torrent.
I will say, after a couple of years, Sierra Key really has dialed in that deadbolt lock system in general. Realized recently that if they hadn't figured it out, your deadbolt would have been like twice the diameter that it is right now, because it's too small to actually press deep enough to unlock it like the old one would have been.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a size difference, and I think they have one that's slightly smaller than this.
Really? God damn.
No, sorry, I'm misremembering. It's the no, wait, I think they might. The other Kit Carson design that had the small deadbolt in the pivot. The M wasn't the M4. Anyway, it had 4116 stainless, and I was super upset because I wanted it to be in V2.
Yeah, but
That
that
one was
one,
pretty
even
small.
then, it's bigger than that one because I compared them.
Yeah?
Because
Okay.
a coworker of ours has one.
Really?
Yeah. And I pressed it, and I was like, I wonder if this is the same size. And I compared them and then realized that I wouldn't have been able to press it deep enough to actually disengage it if they were the same size.
Fair enough.
So Stanson 357, jumping the gun. How many dollary dues? Slow down. We're first reviewing the knife, and these two need to bullshit for 15 minutes. It's been 17 minutes, which is actually pretty good at this point.
Yeah, it's what we do.
Yeah.
You got to fill that runtime, man.
100%.
Okay, diving in. So
Otters.
Directly on their website, 149 American, which means Canadian priced. Cutting Edge Cutlery Co. is extremely competitive right now. Let's just put it that way.
Thanks, Cutting Edge Cutlery Co. for allowing us to take a look at these wonderful knives.
Yeah,
Indeed.
yeah. Oh, look at that picture. It's so pretty. It's so very pretty.
These knives are very pretty.
Look, you could lie on your back and crack a clamshell open on that fucking knife.
Hey, man. Don't kink shame me.
He said you
No,
could.
I'm saying
Now that
you could
couldn't.
do it. Like
Okay, well then
those
kink
other
shame.
otters ain't got shit. Come on, man.
I got my favorite pebble in my armpit just for these such occasions. What would you do?
What would I do about what? Sorry, I stopped listening.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay, so what are we looking at here for materials? We got
Stanson didn't hear what I had said. 149 USD, which means Canadian priced, basically on par Canadian because we're competitive as shit. So yeah, not too shabby. Joe, what were you saying? Go there.
oh, list the materials. We're dealing with carbon fiber with different foils. So the two options here are copper and aluminum.
Is it fencing foils? Do they use fencing foils to put in here?
I took mine home to clean it. I had one here for the longest time. Damn it!
He took it home to polish his foil.
Oh,
my foil's at the cleaners.
Wait, no, it didn't. No, it didn't actually make it to the cleaners. It's in my closet over there. It's a closeted foil, so don't worry about it.
It's a closet. It better be closeted.
Joe's closeted foil.
Yeah, 100%. But anyway, those are the only two options for handled materials, right? For these two.
Yes, but you could get the blade in both flavors, both black wash and satin. Whether it's the copper foil or the aluminum, Cutting Edge went with these options because, hey, why not?
Got to make a decision somewhere. Yep.
True story.
Gotta get a taste, see how they sell.
Taste.
It's kind of funny too, because I do like the current combinations, and I had thought about the reverse, but I don't know. I don't even know which of these handle materials I would personally prefer. We photographed both of them just for comparison's sake, but weight, everything is pretty much identical. They're both using S35. They're both got titanium clips. DLC coated hardware.
Not gonna let Ben get away with not telling us what he's carrying. Come on, fess up, you son of a bitch. What are you carrying? Anyway, continue on. Yeah. Which one you like more? Copper. Holy crap. I thought I was gonna like aluminum because I'm a boring son of a bitch, but the copper one came out of nowhere.
Well, and you and I were looking at the photos and we're like, yeah, that aluminum. That copper looks kind of cheapy by comparison. But then we got them in and it was like, oh, no, this copper actually looks just kind of hot. It's real good shit.
I think they both look really good, but
yeah.
I'm on board with you there with the copper. It just pops that little bit extra.
And Dick Richards looked up how much those otters were worth, roughly 3,500. I'm not sure if it's hide and meat or just hide as alone, but baby otter. I mean, there's not much
live otters. 3,500 live otters. There.
Oh, you got to keep them live? Oh, man.
Well, up until you're ready to step on them, I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
Joe, I'm not a monster. Come on.
Well, I mean, you're going to kill them first, clearly, to make them into slippers so that you can then step on them.
No, I think he's talking about like the illegal pet market, to be honest with you.
Sure.
Maybe that's what zoos pay for them. Who knows?
Yeah.
It didn't necessarily have to be illegal. You could have an exotic pet license and have an otter.
Look, I don't need to kill them to make slippers, Joe.
Anyway, 19 minutes of us bullshitting. Let's talk about knives.
Here's the otters with the blades out.
What? You think anybody comes here to listen to us talk about knives?
Okay, and for the record, while we were on that other photo, it brought up the point, no lefty clip, you sons of bitches. It looks like there's going to be a lefty clip and it's all inset and blah, 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 but then there's not. It's not a lefty clip at all.
It's milled into position, which is just a damn shame.
Yeah.
It would have been.
Get a mill, Dennis. Just get a mill. Mod your own shit.
That'll answer.
If I'm going to get a mill, it's going to be to make some grain, God damn it.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
It's right in the backyard.
You're making grain alcohol or something. Making some moonshine.
No. Sourdough.
Sourdough moonshine? I'm into it.
Sourdough knives, you say? Here's some clip pictures.
You guys are sadly confused.
No, not at all.
In general.
Oh, God. Okay, so how big are these things?
So my question is, how big are they? I don't know. Exactly the same size as a mini bug out. That's why I took a comparison pic.
Yeah, thanks for helping me segue into that. Yeah, they're
exactly the same size.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So if you wanted a flipper version, this isn't too far off, to be honest. Cutting profile is obviously different, but you're just getting. I actually forgot to take a look at the stock thickness, but I think the QSPs are actually still thicker than the mini bug out.
Stock thickness is 3 mils on an Otter.
Yeah. Mini bug out's like a 2 point something, isn't it?
A 2.28.
Yeah. So not quite as slicey, but
dude, it's 3/4 of a millimeter. Come on.
So my theory about when in doubt, make a bug out is that when you only have a little bit of doubt, you make a little bug out.
Yes.
Ta-da.
QSP doesn't have a lot to doubt there. Their penguins are still talking.
They're doing okay. They're like, how much doubt do we have? Just a little bit.
All right, let's make a little mini bug out.
Oh, you almost killed me with that, ta-da. I almost died. Like, just gave up the will to live.
What was the cause of death? Bad pun.
Yeah. Bad joke.
Wasn't even a pun. That's the worst part.
Oh,
There's no pun there.
Well,
here you can see
Oh.
liner lock engagement to a degree, as well as the stock thicknesses and the beautiful layer lines between all the wonderful materials in these handles.
look at them layers. It's
Okay,
like a
Joe.
pastry.
Did you nerd out on this whole foil carbon fiber? Can you give us the lowdown on what the hell, holy hell, it is? You son of a bitch.
Not particularly. It's just one of those
you
fancier. Yeah, a little bit, but it's one of those fancier materials you see pop up from time to time. I don't think this is a fat carbon fiber or anything like that. Like, it's not a major name making it. At least not that they're credited. Unless you found differently.
Oh.
Okay.
I asked you.
Fair enough. No.
Hoping you'd nerd out on some sort of fancy
No,
carbon fiber
but-
that you've never seen before.
Well, I mean, I've seen copper fleck carbon fiber before. I've seen,
Lightning strike.
yeah, and I've seen foiled materials used before in resin. Thinking of the Rafira Noble stuff in particular. This seems to be in a similar way to how you could make like shredded carbon fiber at home. Basically, cut into tiny strips. You can either tie them in knots or just leave them flat. Press it with resin. Looks like they just threw in strips of copper foil to go along with it.
What could go wrong?
Not much, because in this particular case, most of the volume of the handle material seems to be carbon fiber or copper, not leaving as much room for resin. There's actually less voids that I've noticed in the handles overall. So that was actually the part that really impressed me, just on visual and tactile inspection. There's no there was one area on one of the coppers. I actually took a picture to kind of highlight that. I think it was this one.
Was there some copper sticking out?
No, it was actually just a very tiny void. You can kind of see it. There's a slight V shape, a black V shape in this picture that's up now. Right below it, you can almost see like a little exclamation point. Those are two like almost voids. They're not really, but you can tell that that they're basically just little bits of epoxy that are there.
I imagine making a material like this where you're tying shit in knots and layering random shit together. The sweepings off the floor of the shop, that you're gonna have some voids occasionally.
Yeah, but even in this is the one instance in these handle materials where I could find anything that might be considered wrong with them. And that's over the entire surfaces of these knives. So whoever they're using to fashion, I don't know if they're doing it in-house or not, but this handle material seems to be really solidly put together, which is super exciting to see. Because it always sucks when you see like marbled carbon fibers and shit online, and you get it in hand and you look at it real close and you're like, oh yeah, there's like speckly voids all over
everywhere.
this thing.
Yeah.
And you can't really...
I'm not saying you're a fox tur or anything, but
Hey.
what? You've seen it, don't
It's just milled and
smack
raw.
just because you own one.
You've seen it.
It's not covered in voids. You're mistaken.
Look at yours closer.
I can't. It's packed.
Oh, it's away. That's too bad.
Yeah, it's away.
I think actually yours is not too bad, but the Tur is one of those models I saw on more than one occasion. Be like, this isn't even fancy carbon fiber. What the shit, guys?
Yeah.
What the
Every
shit?
time that I've seen somebody talk about voids in carbon fiber, the almost immediate reaction is to fill that void with super glue and polish it out. So I don't know why that's not done more frequently.
Because it's time consuming. And if you fuck it up, it ends up making the surface of your knife look super shitty.
Fair enough. Do it
I was
better.
gonna say the
Oh, Joe's got his loop out.
well, I was just looking for, because I thought I saw something on here on my Skaha too. I had to think about them. Something near the lanyard hole, but I think that was actually impact damage from something. I don't think that's actually a void. So I'm gonna retract what I was planning on saying. Yeah.
Pretty sure that's where I threw it on the floor to just piss Joe off.
No.
You did the mine too.
It's a trash knife and threw it on the ground.
Thanks. Honestly, but a huge chunk of the cost of knives like this comes down to the difficulty in making handle material. It's less about the blade steel. This is why ZTs cost or can cost as much as they do. High-end carbon fiber plus titanium are usually pretty pricey. So to see one of those two materials, pretty high-end looking carbon fiber, here, kind of cool.
They're both here. There's titanium clip right there.
I was just gonna say, like, yeah, titanium clip, I suppose, but it's not a frame lock. Yeah, no, it's it's a nice clip. That's the other
in
thing
a knife
too.
this size, though, I don't need it to be a frame lock. I'm not looking for like lock strike for a size knife.
No, absolutely not. Dennis, do you have the weight spec on this guy?
Oh, well, someone did their job. Sure. 2.6 ounces.
Yeah. So speaking of mini bug out, it's pretty close to a bug out weight.
Mini bug out is 1.5 ounces.
Yeah,
this is
for the
heavier.
Yeah, for plastic handle difference and a millimeter, well, a half mil thinner blade stock. I believe it.
Yeah, I think the big thing on this bad boy is it's closer probably to like an Osborne.
Mm-hmm.
It's in that realm, the 2.5 to 3 ounce kind of world.
Yeah, and you are getting
carbon fiber.
Yeah, and you are getting full stainless steel liners, so there's a little bit of stability to that for sure. I would have liked to have seen something like what they did with the Skaha, where one side is just the carbon fiber and the other side is like an inset liner. It makes this knife ridiculously lightweight. I think they could have gone that route with the Otter. Would it cost? Yeah, I don't know if it would have cost that much more because you're not paying for half your liner material and you're just insetting the liner on one side. I think it would have turned out real well. Maybe it would have done more work actually because you'd need to inset the washers for the ball bearings. That's the other thing. This is on a ball bearing assembly. It's not phosphor bronze or anything like that.
Can we talk about the inside of that liner is chamfered? I'm just looking at this photo you have up, and the inner edge of that liner is chamfered, which is pretty friggin' sweet.
Yeah, they actually took the time to make it comfortable.
The spine of the blade also has a similar, like 45-degree chamfered edge.
Yes. You can kind of see it here on the black one, or the bottom of the photo, how it does have kind of a little bit of a knockdown radius. That is nice. Not everybody likes to strike ferro rods off of their folders. Some people just want it to be comfortable in their pocket. And
how dare you, sir?
Quite easily.
Jack Hughes.
Overall, I think construction on these knives is super solid. Like, nothing really to complain about as far as the build quality.
Except I speak of the ratchety.
Oh yes. Okay.
Okay.
We should talk about the ratchety. This is something that I've personally noticed on blades with DLC coatings. So something like my 450 CFU. I find that rubbing through the coating, you can feel a little bit of a kick as it's moving. This isn't so ratchety stop as like what was it? You even said it the other day. The Spyderco, is it the Navaja?
The Navaja, yeah. However you pronounce it.
Yeah, so it's not
Adamas. I'm pretty sure it's an Adamas.
Yeah, of course. I think that will work itself out. I think once it wears a track into place through the coating, it's got to be fine. Thoughts, concerns, comments?
That's what they all say.
Yeah. Are they ceramic bearings?
They are.
There you go. Nice. Which means they'll wear through it a little bit faster, probably.
It didn't make the ratchety on the polished one, which again backs up Joe's point, which kind of kills me on the inside. But really there was no but. didn't want to end
Just-
on Joe winning. It's yeah.
That's fair.
The
Understandable.
butt is Joe.
Hey,
Yeah,
just because it's true doesn't mean it isn't hurtful.
yeah, that's fair. I would
So-
kind of like to dive a little bit into Ben's comment.
Oh, yeah? I'm not getting
The
comments
blade
right away.
profile is weird a bit for some reason.
Let's take a look at that blade profile. Okay.
Because in some ways I agree, and in other ways I'm like, nah, I dig it. But I just realized it's a fucking Benchmade proper blade, isn't it?
It's not so far off. I mean, there's a pretty nasty.
Kinda.
No, not so much. I had to think
Not
about
as
that,
much?
but
Like, I like it.
I mean, yeah, it's not necessarily a unique blade shape.
yeah.
It's kind of slopey, for lack of a better term. I don't know.
It ain't a Warncliffe because it doesn't have a straight edge.
It's not a sheep's foot. It's not a Warncliffe. It's something.
Modified drop point.
Top with that modified DS.
Never.
It's a modified Ozcliffe. It's
Examinator, what is up? What are you carrying?
So I don't think there's really anything wrong with the cutting edge, the company, as well as this knife. I think the cutting profile is going to be fine, but it is a little bit odd that the spine kind of rounds out the way it does. Not going to be the best piercing tip, a la 450, something like that. But I think it's going to be more than usable. I don't think that you're really going to find it to be to your detriment at all.
I actually have like the hand size comparison that I have
Yeah.
the shot of. And when it comes to the job it needs to do, like it's definitely not a heavy duty knife. But if you do look at it in hand, I was able, as a large hand, borderline XL, whatever type of thing, I was able to get 4 fingers around it, even though I've got a skinny palm, long fingers, blah, blah, blah. But there's this new classification of knives that I was kind of thinking about when I was playing with this knife. And it's the 4-finger light duty use. Like, yes, I can get 4 fingers on this. No, I don't want to use it hard. And yeah, like there's some knives out there that fall into this. Like, it's not a 3-finger grip like a mini grip Tillian. It's not a whatever. I can get a full purchase on it, but I don't feel like I would ever be able to use this knife hard. This is a light EDC, flick it around, have fun with it in the shorts, in light carry, my bug out kind of attitude. Yeah. You're voking, but it's like a thick little monkey.
It kind of
like-
is. It's a chunky boy. But I understand.
You
Do I
both
wanna
had
put-
the option to say chunky monkey there, and neither one of you took it.
No,
Do
I
I
left
want?
that
Do
for
I
you.
want to put like Bic pen in my pocket that weighs 4 times the weight? That's what that voking is. It's like, if your answer is yes, choose me. It's,
That's
You
okay.
heard it here first.
I'll buy
But
the
yeah.
same knife multiple times in a row. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm finding the Otter if definitely falls into that.
Oh yeah,
Yes, 4-finger heavy duty. No,
I think
and
but it's not trying to pretend to be otherwise either. Like
No.
with the handle material being what it is, it very much is like, I'm dressy. It's kind of pretty. It's pocket jewelry.
I was talking to a customer recently about this knife and was talking about office carry. This is a great one for throwing in the slacks in the office. Nobody's going to be afraid of it when it pops out.
Maybe the black blade if they're really,
It's racist.
really uppity. That's only racist if you want it to be.
Touche.
is that before or after I put the ski mask on? Like,
Do you work at the office where you're opening this knife, or are you just showing
That
up in a ski mask?
wasn't part of the question, Joe.
Yeah. Stop changing the parameters, man.
I am not. I am simply trying to clarify. That is funny though. I think it's a pretty Yeah.
I was just gonna say response time says that I should not answer that question.
Yeah, we got how many minutes left in the stream? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a pretty non-threatening blade shape. Like if you were gonna go with something more like a spear point or a drop point Tonto, something like that, I could see it still being a little bit iffy, but this is a pretty gentle looking blade.
I don't understand why people are like this, but people as a general rule seem to find the wider blades, the Spyderco PM2s, the SR1 from Lionsdale, they find that scary. Whereas a narrow blade like this, yeah, I've had multiple customers and people in my life that have both made comments about it, which doesn't make any sense to me as a guy that knows like why a stiletto exists, but they don't find that blade shape as threatening in a lot of cases, it seems.
I don't know. The comment I got that came out of nowhere for me just opening my pocket knife and using it was from my Osborne. So
really?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That was the one that was like, I was just like randomly opening it to open a kitchen knife box or something to show someone and pop my knife open and got a freak out reaction. So,
yeah, I was going to say, if anything, I've had more positive reactions from things like my junior with the wider blade or even the,
That's
well, okay.
Weird.
It's because your junior is like, hey,
I was going to say,
or that knife. Yeah.
Or the 8010. I've actually had people, oh wow, that looks like a pretty serious outdoors knife. I've never had anybody think that like, oh, weapon when they see a big wide blade like that.
And I'm sure when you were carrying the 8010, you got those questions, but that's an 8015. So
yeah, 15.
Are we talking in the knife shop? Because I'm not talking in the knife shop.
Oh, just in everyday occurrence. Yeah.
Out in the world.
Yeah, generally the more like a stiletto my knife happens to be that day, whether it's the Voking or the fact, then I start to get comments about that stuff. But
I usually don't get the comment about the knife itself. It's usually like, wow, you got that out of your pocket really fast or something. Like it's
yeah, I got a
you were just ready to use that, weren't you? Or something like that. And it's like, yeah,
this is kind of a roundabout thing, but it all came back to, I was just going to say that this blade is fairly narrow. It's not a terribly threatening pointy blade.
No.
It's pretty innocuous as far as like pop it out in public and cut a thread off your shirt or something like that. I don't think you're going to scare a bunch of people.
Yeah. If anything, it's definitely in a comfortable size range. Yeah. It's not so far out from just a simple jackknife blade. Yeah.
I would, but it's not a left-hand carry, so the Otter can go crack a clam on the right-hand side. You know, I don't know. That's all I got.
That's all right.
They can't all be winners.
Yeah, well, it's not all I got for the record either. It's
we know.
Anything else on this knife?
In pocket carry was pretty decent. The pocket clip doesn't completely submerge this thing. Like it's not a super ultra high definition deep carry pocket clip, but it's in there. It's not super exposed.
So the one thing I've learned too, and it's hard to say with a first impressions review about the milled clip, and especially after I got that Rips Garage Tech, I was telling Joe it went from the kind of the like highest riding, kind of tight, didn't fit nice, and within 48 hours broke into being easily the best titanium clip I own now. So it's one of those like first impressions is yes, we all put it on our pocket and went, yeah, it sits here, but how does milled titanium work for the first week? Like, and that's where I'd almost want to go back and look at some of the Pocket Ergos reviews that we had with milled titanium clips and how many of those knives do we own, and we can go back and have a second impression on some of those scores and stuff like that type of thing, right? Might be an interesting dive back.
I don't know if my opinion would change much on my Tucson because that pocket clip is still dog shit.
Well, you started that
fan.
conversation with Tucson, so
Hey, come on, they can design some stuff okay sometimes.
I think I've been on board with milled clips from the beginning, at least in looks, if not in functionality.
Well, and I'll say the tension on my evoking hasn't really changed since the day I got it. But I also don't take this out of my pocket by pulling very hard on the titanium at all. I wonder how much of a factor that was for your rips clip.
No, I was just pushing it down on the denim. I was just like kind of shoving it right
Okay.
up in there.
Stuffing it in there.
So the denim would cause it to flex. Okay, fair enough.
And then it would just sit there. And eventually it got to the point where it just slides on and off. No problem.
That's about a perfect pocket clip, by the way. In terms of the exterior, the rounding on it, that's
Happy
how
Father's
they
Day.
should be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no artisan Centauri, but it's pretty nice.
It's pretty goddamn close though in terms of comfort. Like shit.
I didn't have to spend 2 hours cleaning that clip before I put it on.
I only spent an hour.
Oh, okay.
I only needed to clean it 3 times. It's
You
fine.
showed me, sir.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
Mic dropped.
You forgot to turn that mic on. It's leaves a better impression. Anyway,
Indeed.
I think
Closing time?
that's everything we got to say about the Otter. Price point, Jesus Christ, QSP, good for you. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. We like it.
Keep
The
doing
materials are
Don't-
good.
it. Don't do like everybody else and go, hey, this is working. Let's make more expensive shit.
You know what we didn't mention? You know what's funny? Super funny. Funny. S35VN.
Joe started with that.
Did he?
Yeah,
Did he start with that?
he did.
Sometimes I don't pay attention what Joe says.
That's fair.
I'll finish with it. How about that? Yeah, that's 35VN.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good for that price.
Examinator's gushing on your photos, Dennis.
Pretty damn good. Yeah, they're okay.
Pretty all right.
Getting all gushy on them.
This one turned out pretty fancy. Yeah,
I'm into it.
The foreshortening was all nice, well and good.
Indeed.
But thanks, Sam. Thanks. Appreciate that. It's mainly me. Every once in a while, Joe slips a photo in there. Paul mainly tries to slip something in there, but it's not a photo.
I've got a
We
couple
delete
close-ups
we
this
delete
week.
those emails for the record.
I've learned to not even open them anymore.
I just keep sending them. Ain't gonna stop.
Can I talk to HR?
No.
There is no HR department.
Nope.
All right. What
Oh.
kind of ranking do you give this sumbitch?
I said already, it's utterly fantastic. I don't
That's
know what
not
that
a
really
rank.
equates to.
Out of what?
At,
19 Otterlies?
Out of fantastic.
Out of 3 7/8 of a fantastic.
I rate this just like we opened with the 2 cute sea otters holding hands, just like these 2 could be holding clips. 2 cute otters out of 2. This is a really, really good job.
2 out of 2.
2
An
out of 2.
all-time high.
Wow.
Don't think that means 100%. It just means 2 out of 2. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Fair.
But honestly, aside from adding lefty compatible clip options, I don't really know what they could have done to like improve these knives. They did a really good job.
I don't know that would have improved it.
Okay. Maybe they could have. Oh, dude, you know what they could have done? They could have had little fill plates that were made of the opposite handle material that go into where the clip sits. So like on the copper, you'd have the aluminum carbon fiber foil as a little plate filling in where the clip would seat. I'd pay an
Fill in
extra.
the plate.
Yeah, I'd pay an extra 10-15 for that. That'd be such a cool little treat. Like, why not?
And at the same time, I could take my extra little opposite part of the plate off and throw it at Paul for not being on board with this.
Just slingshot it at him.
That's what you get, you anti-lefty son of a bitch.
Right? Dick Richards is talking about somebody being able to meme with the best of them, though, and I assume he's talking about me.
You're the memeiest lord of meme lords out of this group, so I think so.
I'm
I'll
gonna
take it.
continue to pronounce it meme.
Oh, that actually. Well, that's actually terrible too because memetics, meme. It could be meme.
A Hemotep?
I think Joe's just calling out for his mom. It's
No.
Mama.
That'll be.
meme. I could use some more morphine, meme.
Oh.
Oh
What kind of life? What kind of life do you think I lead? Jesus.
You know.
We know exactly what kind of life you lead.
Thanks for joining us today, guys. Did you give a rating, Paul? Dennis?
I did not. I was avoiding it. I'm going to give it 9 otters linking little paws together in a little ring of love out of 10.
Did someone kill the 10th one?
No, the 10th one's in the middle.
It's a really big one. I was able to make slippers out of both slippers out of one. So
those 9 were the survivors.
You know, it was like the 10th dentist that doesn't approve the toothpaste. It had to go.
It was bullying the other otters, so it needed to die. We can justify this. We can make it. We can make it justifiable.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
That otter is going to come back with an origin story. I tell you, it's
little Wolverine claws.
Yep.
Yeah.
Full
I
dive.
didn't
Check 'em
expect
out.
to want this, and I do.
If I didn't have so many similarly sized options, I'd pick it up probably just for the handle material alone, especially that copper version. Holy shit. That's just cool.
It's definitely one that I'll be keeping an eye on, and it'll just need the right incentive for it to jump into my pocket. I have other things that I need to buy right now.
I wonder how this knife would look if you gently reground it into a clip point.
I think I would probably try reground otter on a burrito.
I'd do it. I'd give it a go.
I mean,
would that just taste like a fish burrito?
No, it's fine.
Also,
is it?
Chipped.
You said reground. My brain went immediately to refried. I'm cool with it either way. Quite honestly,
we could do both. A
little refried otter. I'm into it.
Guess we're done talking about this, Otter.
The knife itself, yeah. I rate it 3 out of 5 consonants because QSP doesn't believe in vowels.
Thanks. Terrible. Thank you.
Don't thank him for that.
3 out of 5.
Where is there only what? I'm trying to wrap my head around of 5.
It's better to not just accept
because
it.
an otter has 2 vowels. Come on, people.
Gotcha.
3 out of 5. QSP doesn't believe in vowels. It's easy scoring. I know how I'm going to score QSP from now on. It's easy.
Just buy the name. Oh.
Take the name of the knife. Remove the vowels. There you have it. Boom.
I give this 87 thumbs up.
That is an ironclad scoring
How
system.
many vowels did you take out of that name?
87, obviously. That's not how that works at all, but for the record.
I'd hate to have that. I'd hate to have that guess as like a Wheel of Fortune. Like it's.
I'd like to buy a vowel and just all your money goes.
No, not that many.
Bing, 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 bing.
Thanks for playing.
Are we still on otters?
No, I think
we're
we're
not.
Other
No.
silly bullshit. let's talk about some silly bullshit.
Some silly bullshit right here. Her name's Midna.
Hi,
She's
silly
fantastic.
bullshit. Who's a good silly bullshit? Yeah, that's
Yes,
you.
are. Aren't you silly? Aren't you a silly bullshit?
She is. She knows she is.
Tell me she's not.
Off you go. That's right.
So, we want to start with our silly bullshit.
I think it's the obvious, Paul. I really do.
I think we should start there. That's good.
Yeah. Is it?
Start there.
Is it really obvious? Is it known to everyone? Does everybody know what's going on?
You're gonna find out.
A little beginning, middle, end. Just little end.
Apparently, I need to find that email and copy that URL again because
Your Bitly
What?
line.
I sent it first. It was obviously the most important.
no,
Because second, I sent nothing.
I
I
copied it. All right, it just didn't stay in my clip tray for whatever reason.
Sounds.
You're a clip tray.
Sus. Seriously
Okay.
sus.
Here it is. The big reveal. Here it comes. Oh. Okay.
Do
So
you
that's
know what
interesting.
the reveal is?
Black Frost is heading out. Have a good night.
Oh, have a good night, man.
All right,
Cheers.
Black Frost. Take care, man. Hope camping was fun.
Indeed. Are we jumping straight to?
Well, we don't have to necessarily jump straight to. I mean, there's a whole bunch of bullshit on here. They don't really have anything to say in between now and page 11.
Yeah, that's fine.
Joe leaves, so we're just going to talk about it without him, and we know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Welcome back.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry, I had to stop my cat from doing something very stupid. The window is now closed. She can't jump out. That's good.
That's probably for the best.
So you say there's nothing going on until page 11. Should I just go straight to page 11?
well, there might be some other things, but that's where it gets good. That's
It
for
gets
sure.
good on Page 11.
We can scroll down here.
It's
We can overanalyze absolutely everything on the way down, right? Like we have time for that.
if you
course.
want. Oh yeah, old Dutch machete. That's called a butcher's knife. They have a 14-inch butcher's knife. Use it as a machete. They didn't need to come out with a new one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do exactly that. I'm buying a sheath for that 14-inch machete, and I'm gonna carry it as a machete.
It's a butcher's knife, Paul. Stop calling it a machete. It's a butcher's
It's gonna be a machete when I'm done with it.
Nice. Very nice.
Look up Maine Coon cats. Yeah, my buddy Lloyd has one. He's a monster. He literally broke my phone by chewing it. He cracked the case.
That's an
Nice.
asshole. cat.
An Otter box. He cracked the case by taking a bite out of it. Those Maine Coons don't mess around.
No, they're shitheads.
Speaking of shitheads, get off the 3D printer.
He's talking to you,
Aw.
Ben.
Ben, stop climbing on your 3D printer. So while we're segueing here, page 11. Are we at page 11?
We are
No.
at page 11. Oh,
Okay.
all right. Yeah.
This Eau Claire distillery, this was the one that was totally crappy, and then we found the prickly pear, and it was actually pretty good. But spruceberry smash for the record.
What's a spruceberry?
It's what grouse eat. It's kind of like a juniper berry. It's on a
Okay.
spruce. It's
Does
on
it
a
taste like a
spruce.
pine tree?
Kind of, yeah. A little bit of that. So it's that mixed with raspberry.
Okay.
And I've had one, and it was okay. It was okay. I'll have the second one now and see if
Not
my
as Prickly in
opinion.
your pear?
No, it's still good. It's still good.
Okay.
All right. Anyway,
So knives, you say?
I was gonna say, has Joe figured out what we brought him here for?
I don't know. He should maybe read page 11.
Yeah, just read it, top to bottom.
Okay. The Ice Wraith series. I remember seeing this. I forgot if it was in a video or article format, but I've seen this knife before.
Okay, well, we'll skip all the bramble and
Okay.
give you the good stuff here, Joe. Bullet point form. Read what steel is in it.
Stainless.
Okay.
Stick.
Very good, sir.
Yeah, and
What?
I see those values.
What are the values, sir?
52 to 56, Rockwell.
Awesome, awesome. Now go up to the top paragraph and read what steel they're using in that high quality stainless.
Fate? Oh, come on.
In what kind
52
of
Rockwell?
in what kind of
What the
Rockwell are we
fuck?
working with here? Just zoom that in for the audience.
Oh my god, 52 to 56. Okay,
On the hard end,
yeah,
it's not that hard.
it's got to average at like 53. I
It averages 51, let's be
What
honest.
the fuck? Okay, so
How new is this knife? How new?
didn't it just get announced like this year, like early this year?
If
This is
not
the
this year,
2023 catalog.
if
so.
not this year, they kind of maybe hinted at it Blade Show last year, and then
Oh my
this
god.
is just their catalog. So I think this is everything that came out this year and last year. So I think it was hinted at Blade Show last year, actually released at SHOT Show 2022, and now is in their 2022-2023 catalog. I think is how this all works.
So Oz 8 typically is run at like 58, 59. I don't think you can actually run it that much harder than I don't think it's actually advisable to take it much harder than that because you start to get really bad shipping issues from what I read, what I've understood.
Well,
But 52 to 56?
they didn't want
What
to take
the
their
fuck?
chances. They were like, whoa, 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 if we get close to that.
Slow your roll, Joe. Come on.
Oh my god.
Okay. So page 11 is where it get good. And especially because they only say stainless in the bullet point specs, and you actually have to go up, which in their video, they did say Oz 8 on this one, but conveniently left out the HRC on their video. But they did say
Cool.
Oz 8 for this one. So they were swinging with the big guns.
Look.
You know, we're in there with Ontario's rat folder, Oz 8.
Look, I don't really have many problems with cheap knives using Oz 8 or 8CR, any kind of equivalent. But this range is ridiculous.
So what's the crossbones? What's the heat
the
treatment
original
on it?
I don't think I've actually Rockwell tested that one.
It doesn't say.
They might say on their website.
Yeah, you'll get to it.
I imagine 58.
So Oz 8, they say 58 to 59. So that's actually where it should be sitting.
All right. That's acceptable. That's acceptable.
It took a while for me to sharpen through to what I'm assuming is better steel than what the initial edge was on my original crossbones. But once it was there, it was holding an edge like Oz 8 should. It just took too long.
As I said, it only took, what, a year?
Yeah, and like 5 different sharpening attempts. Because I thought, like, well, maybe I'm the one who's fucking this up. No, it was the steel that was garbage.
I remember you going through the existential crisis of being like, is it me? Is it I who is flawed?
Well,
I put an edge on it. I cut things. It cut great for 3 seconds. What is happening right now?
In all of those scenarios, the answer is yes, Joe. Yeah.
It's also my fault. All right.
Yeah, that too. So yes, but if you start to scroll down from page 11, it may or may not get better.
Are you fucking kidding me? This isn't the highlight?
Wow. It gets interesting. It gets interesting. So you start to notice some trends.
We're stopping here at the hiking knife and the Camp Plus hatchet?
I don't know. Which one's this, Paul? Do you remember?
I don't. It does say, is that 52 to 55?
It says 52 to 55, and they say stainless, and you don't tell you what kind of stainless.
No, 5CR, I'm going to guess. Maybe it's Oz 8. You know, an Oz 8 hatchet. You don't want it to chip, you know.
Well,
that's
the
high carbon steel.
Yeah, they do say high carbon for the hatchet.
Oh, fair enough.
But 50 to 55, man.
That's hidden behind my camera. I can't see that.
I'll believe you this time.
But there's some in particular. I can't remember. Me and Paul were scrolling through, and there was a couple that stood out, and basically you start to see patterns of they might not say what that stainless knife is, but you'll start to notice other stainlesses that they do mention with that same Rockwell. And I think you can start to play back. That means that knife has to be this because it
I
has
remember
that
that, yeah.
HRC.
Okay.
Yeah, if you come across another knife that's 52 to 56, it's almost guaranteed to be Oz 8 because that's what they run their Oz 8 at.
So this OKC Bezra and the Ultra Blue are both Oz 8 then. 52
Yeah.
to 56.
Imagine.
Oh, okay. Well, in this case, they actually say. Okay,
But
we're back to the Ice Wraith.
So there was another one in particular that was not a high carbon steel in particular. It was a high alloy steel, I think is what it was called. I can't remember what page it was on.
Was that the one that we realized immediately was 50-50 or 5160?
Sure, blow the surprise, Paul. Good job, you asshole.
5160 it does. High carbon, stainless. So the bayonets are stainlesses. Okay. Tactical carbon.
Bayonets are stainless. That's interesting.
Yeah.
They're not meant for combat. I don't know why that's only funny to me, but fuck you both.
They didn't want to get them rusty after the blood got on it. Come on.
Premium stainless at 53 to 58. What stainless are they using in that range?
20C.
1428 maybe if it's a premium stainless.
It's part of their it's their fillet knife, so it could be 420 high carbon.
It could be 154.
You think?
It could be 1428 Sandvik.
I'm only thinking fillet knife, and Benchmade uses it as well for flexibility. That's my only reason for going to 154.
Yeah,
right.
Ontario, I don't think has anything else in their catalog though with 154. So that would be a weird one.
Was this the one you were talking about?
The
alloy,
the Artac.
Yeah. Artac Dulles.
So check out the HRC.
Yeah,
it's
53 to 55. Okay.
So your 5160 is run 53 to 55.
Yeah.
Okay, and Dick Richards, you say RMP Ontario Knife Company. This is nothing new. This is 20-year-old heat treatments. This is just not someone anywhere's put on the spotlight until now.
I was going to ask that question, quite honestly, because I've always had the impression that Ontario ran their shit soft as butter.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was softer, but I mean, 5160 at a 53 to 55 is crazy town.
Sure.
Crazy talkaroonies.
I don't mind 53 to 55 and 5160 if and only if you're making like a longsword or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
On the spine.
that edge better be pretty hard.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying that, but I think that's the only thing where I'd be like, okay, they wanted more flexibility. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. But what's Matt's Jungless run at?
I don't know.
58?
Probably still softer than it should be.
Yeah. But it's still probably harder than
58 or 59,
56.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
And 1095 on that one too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not nearly as tough as 51. That's the thing. With the good heat treat, 5160, you could just beat the shit out of it. Like, it's ridiculously tough.
You bet. So this actually led me down the rabbit hole of all of the Spec Plus stuff, but not Spec Plus in particular. It was Spec Plus Gen 2. You got a cat jumping out the window, Joe? Or
she was on top of the printer, but she saw me looking at her and she jumped off.
Joe looked like he was about to cut and run there for a second. The Spec Plus Gen 2, it had a knife called the SP50, SP51, big choppers. it had a whole bunch of stuff that was made with 5160. The little birds, the little neck knifey guys that were cute as shit was 5160. All of a sudden, all those knives that Ontario made for the last 20 years that I almost had like a bit of a crush. I was like, oh, if you find those super cool, let me know. Those are secret gems, blah, blah, blah. Well,
let's say you almost had a run in with one of those gems, and you're probably happy.
I don't know. What are you supposed to do with 53 to 55?
Pry.
I guess.
Yeah, but even then, like
a lot of those were thicker than they should have been, so you can get away with even the dagger. But I mean, Oz 8 at a 52 to 56 is horrendous, and the 5160 at a 53 to 55. Why is Hinderer the one under the spotlight? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is pretty brutal.
They are proud enough about that to fucking post it.
Turner.
This is something that we could have found on Blade forums from some asshole that went through their entire collection and tested everything.
It's super disappointing because it's not like the material selection is bad. It's not like the designs are bad.
And you wonder why a company or a guy might sway from buying a Rat 7 and jump over and buy an SE instead. Or instead of buying Rat 3, buy SE4 or an Azula or something. Yeah.
Dick Richards is saying that explains why the Ontario boy I have never gets razor sharp. And it might just be that you can't get that burr to come off that edge. It's too soft to really get that burr off.
Stropping is hard enough with a properly hardened and tempered blade steel. Once you start adding into X factors, like, it's soft as shit.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's
the other thing with the Ontario Bowie in particular is if you're trying to reprofile it in any sort of, or copy the edge that came on it in any sort of way, it's always going to be a thick, not very sharp edge. You definitely need to reprofile that bevel because the factory edge is way too steep on, especially the Spec 10 Bowie, if that's the one you're thinking about. Pardon me.
The big clip point boy. Yeah.
The SP10.
Yeah, it's still a cool knife, but yeah, it's just
check out the SP50, Joe, or the SP51, and this is a cool little rabbit hole thing just for you, because you'll appreciate the difference between the 50 and the 51.
Let's grab some images. Ooh, okay.
Speaking of Jungless, yeah.
Oh. Let's see if I can open this up in an image. Such a small image. I think I'm just gonna have to follow it. There we go. Oh, disco. Okay. And the 50.
I'm getting crazy with the cheese whiz here.
Thanks for that.
Oh, my camera! I just hit my camera for a second.
It's crazy on the cheese whiz.
It's just funny to hear. Enjoyed it.
Can a person get crazy on cheese whiz? Can we test that?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Joe, you only get to eat cheese whiz for the next year.
No.
You would most certainly go crazy, like 100% crazy town.
So
he's a mouse.
Full flat grind versus saber grind is the first thing I'm noticing.
Same knife. So I think they did this on more than one model. I honestly don't remember which models they did it on, but they actually released the exact same knife in two different grinds depending on what you wanted it.
Okay.
That was almost a sentence. Shut up.
I dig it. The fact that they give you options.
Yeah.
Not the sentence.
I would pick.
No, evidently not. I agree, though. Yeah, it's nice to have the options, even if it's softer than shit. But
and he was saying saber grind, but I don't know, man. The flat grind
could be hollow.
It's pretty good. No, it wasn't. It was saber and flat.
Okay.
Shut your face. I'm the one telling this story. You son of a bitch.
That flat grind looks nice, but they're both. I guess if it's soft as shit anyway, and you're gonna use it as a splitting wedge, just give me the saber.
That's what I was.
Yeah, I guess
My
at
mindset.
53 to 55, all of a sudden it doesn't matter, right? So
Yeah. Chonky. Well, I'll keep that up later. I might keep looking through those.
But
Chonky.
anyway, why would you bother? It's 53 to 55. And
Yeah.
yeah, there is some sweet Gen 2 stuff out there, right down to little daggers this big that made me chuckle, all the way up to big choppers. And there was a ton of stuff that all of a sudden I'm like, I will give you $50 because that's what it's worth. Like,
You've ruined that material, sir.
like straight from the factory. Like, you're proud of the fact that you ruined it. Like,
well, hey, hold on a second, because some of this shit, like their Spec Plus series, whatever these little tactical knives, high carbon steel, 57 to 59. Depending on what that high carbon steel is, that's a decent enough range.
That's 1095 because they're proud of that shit. They do their 1095, 57 to 59.
The benefit of using 5160 is that it's tough as shit if it's hardened and tempered properly.
No. It's tough as shit, and then you make it soft, my friends.
So it bends like a piece of licorice. Jesus, what a waste.
Hey man, I want to be able to cut things around corners sometimes. Okay.
Gross. I don't like that.
You say that until I cut you around a corner.
Yeah, I'll still say it. I'll double down.
Ugh, gross.
I wonder how many corners there are in the Ontario factory. Jesus.
Well, not that many with how many they've been cutting. Oh, but goddamn. Yeah. Okay, so there's your answer. The SP10 is done at 57 to 59, so reasonable-ish for the size. But
that's a 1095.
Still a bit softer. So yeah,
that's probably as hard as my Trailmaster. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
If not
so
harder.
I'll side with that.
No,
it's probably
you've got to know
geometry.
one. Yeah. You've got to know one Trailmaster. Yours is at a 60 or a 61.
You think?
That's what they put their 01 at.
Fair
it was
enough.
A 60, I believe. Yeah.
Well, still. So here's something interesting, and part of the reason that I believe that 59 is kind of the top end for Oz 8, because that's what Cold Steel did their Oz 8 at, or Oz 8A, whatever. And they normally push their heat treats to like recommended standards by a manufacturer. Like their S35 yen is like 60, 61 in a lot of cases.
Yeah, their 3V got put under the wire, and it was bang on too, especially when Benchmade had the 3V controversy and whatever type of thing. Cold Steel got put under the firing squad, and it turned up like thumbs up. They do what they say they do. Like it's
So the fact that, like, again, 52 to 56, holy fucking shit.
Hey, man, they do what they say they do.
They're proud of it, okay, Joe? They're proud of it.
Oh, okay, fine. Points for honesty, but, man, those points, you could have used those points in your fucking Rockwell. Holy shit.
Terrible.
Oh, God, that's
so
just
good times.
Awful.
Good times. Figured
Indeed.
we could end the episode giving Joe a good chuckle.
I have one other small thing that I want to before we run.
Okay.
It's very small. It won't take very long.
I know that cutlass looks sweet, eh? I want a Spax for the record. I still want a Spax. I've always wanted a Spax. Give me a rescue orange handled Spax. I want one. It's silly and stupid, and I'd put it back on that wall because of how silly and stupid it is.
Yeah.
I've decided that all the silly and stupid things are going to go back on that wall because I have too many of them. I have enough normal things in my life. I might as well put silly shit back there.
Dude, I want a Winston's, pal.
I mean, do you want to put the things you want to take off the wall constantly on the wall? No. You put the silly things you don't take off the wall very often.
Where'd you get that? You'll never guess.
Would you believe?
Indeed. Yeah.
So good times. Joe's still flipping through just to see if he can find more gems.
So they put the beat knife at 57 to 59 Rockwell, because that makes sense. Because that's where
is that a beat knife? Is that what they're calling that?
That's a beat knife with a
I want that
spike.
for moving firewood around a camp. That thing looks awesome.
How thick is it?
As a batoning knife?
I was gonna look at the blade thickness, but I don't see it. There's length, material hardness, material sheath. No thickness.
Oh, Paul, you can get it without the spike attached and then make your own.
They call it a field knife. They still put the holes in for the spike.
Yeah.
Oh.
Joe, they just renamed the knife that they didn't finish. Let's be
No,
honest here.
I know, obviously. It's just like, wow, it gets its own skew and everything.
Yeah.
So dumb.
All right, gentlemen.
So the one last thing that I want to talk about for only a short amount of time.
Okay.
I kind of want to give a quick shout out and a little thank you, and potentially see where we might get more of the like.
That sounds like bullshit. I'm out.
I have no
Indeed.
idea what you're talking about.
Well, you have the link, and the link. You have the email titled art, and it was actually fan art that we got.
I haven't actually opened up that email.
Fair enough. I appreciate that.
Here.
This is fan art that we got from one of our subscribers.
Oh, really?
Indeed. And I just wanted to share it around a little bit.
Oh, yeah? This is what we're doing? Okay.
This is what we're doing.
Let me just pull this over to Chrome here.
Is this Fisk's fan art by any chance?
Yes, it sure is.
I was like, from a viewer, I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, that's right.
Art. Yeah.
So he got blocked from Tim Reeves for doing the same photo on Tim's face, for the record. That was the first time he got blocked. I think a first of many.
That's fair. I haven't blocked him for it because I laughed my ass off when I saw it.
Well, it's B-Paul, so obviously that's a different person.
It's a different guy. He's
totally
just happened to have my face. The weird thing is, I don't know where he got that picture.
We all know.
Do we?
From the many you sent him.
We did Photoshop that picture onto something. I don't know, a couple different things. I think you were doing the floss dance at one point in time.
Was that? So I think this is my face when I'm like holding two lowland claymores.
Oh.
In my red shirt. From like way back in the day.
Well,
like 2017 times.
I mean, the big thing to take away from this is the fact that you're getting peed on.
I mean,
what a great way to end the night. Being pissed on by a cat.
Not just any cat. Calvin the cat. What?
True.
It's true.
Awful.
Shut your face.
Terrible. But yeah,
Joe,
so if anybody wants to make art of
make
us,
your cat pee on Paul. Come on.
No.
The screen is just
just a visit on the screen.
Oh god, my computer smells like piss now. When the feed cuts out.
Good night, everybody.
On that note.
I just wanted to
yeah,
throw it back to our audience if they want to make art of us.
Share your art. Well, I am rearranging my back room here and checking it out. You should probably just get that framed and set up your room accordingly. Have just the backdrop of just Fisk peeing on your face.
Yeah, there you go. Just add it to. We'll add to your bookshelf.
No, your bookshelf.
No.
Right above your messer over there. That little frame picture could just be changed out.
That is unicorns puking rainbows. Thank you very much. That's not going anywhere.
Well, it could be Fisk pissing rainbow unicorns on your face, but
it could.
He wasn't that artistic. He wasn't that artistic. He lazied out and just used regular pee.
Regular pee as opposed to
unicorn
rainbow
pee. Obviously.
I'm going to tell him that you have critiques about his art.
Well, do better.
He could watch the show himself and learn that.
I'm saying he could have been replaced.
I was gonna jump in at any point if he showed up in stream
There we
tonight and
go.
just be like, hey, by the way.
Aw.
Yeah, I can't do that because I'm on my phone. I need to be on my computer to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. He's like pissing right in your neck, Joe.
I know, it's
Right,
weird.
right in your ear canal.
There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, Dick Richards is out. By the way, on that note, have a good night. Take care, man. Yeah, he's not sticking around for the thank yous after that.
That's fair. That's fair. I wouldn't either.
Well, you know, Fisk shows up.
Yeah.
You gotta
Oh,
go.
Joe's upside down.
Well, what else is new?
Can I be upside down, Joe? Can you make me upside down?
I don't think so.
What
I was trying to exit out of my settings and I accidentally hit the rotate button. So
Where's my rotate button?
I don't know. I don't know.
Stanson as well. Have a great night, dude.
I think
Cheers.
we've rotated long enough. Everyone else is bailing.
Indeed. We should thank folks and fuck off.
I think we've had enough rotation. Thank you to the Cutting Edge Cutlery Co. for having a fantastic deal on the QSP Otter. And by fantastic deal, I mean, damn, son, we got good deals in this knife.
We
It's
talked
like,
about that knife for an hour and never even once mentioned the fact that it wasn't named after a bird.
Oh,
no.
you're right. We completely missed it. Damn it. Well, now you know.
Yeah.
Anyone's still here.
We will try to find some documentation of otters eating birds just to see if that food
I bet you
cycle
they
can
would.
be complete. Anyway, thanks to Cutting Edge. Good deal on this knife. Go pick it up because it's cool. Copper foil, all that
And
fun
then-
stuff.
While you're picking it up, you should also stop on by our Instagram profile. Because sometimes things get posted there.
Yeah,
Sometimes you feel like a post, sometimes you don't. you know?
you win things. You
you
win
might win a thing.
you win screwdrivers and you win knives and you win some things.
Indeed.
Some-
And if you do it now, you'll have snuck in before we actually do the announcement for the giveaway, and you'll be included.
and it won't even matter at all. Go now. Joe would tell us to join everyone, thank everyone, do something on Patreon. Joe would say those words because it's Joe. But I'm just saying thank you to everyone on Patreon for participating every month and subscribing. There will be a big thank you 2023 Christmas. It's countdown begin.
We're working on it.
Our countdown's as bad as Benchmade's countdown, for the record. We
Hey,
didn't
man.
bring
It's
that up
actually
this
just
week.
as bad.
It's COVID. We're allowed.
Are we?
Oh, I said the bad word. We're on the YouTubes. We're never going to see this. This video's never going to see the light of day.
That's how it happens, right?
Yeah. They're coming for me. And they're going to get me.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Okay, we need to end the stream. It's so hot in my apartment, and I need to turn up my AC.
You should have thought about that before the stream.
I turned it off so that you didn't have to hear my AC through the stream. You're welcome.
Oh,
What,
don't
you-
thank me. Don't thank me.
I didn't. I said you're welcome.
Thank you for watching. Goodbye, everybody. See you next week.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Depends on how many people thank me. It's-
Is that how it works?
Can you imagine that's how we end it? We just see you next week. Nah.
yeah. People keep showing up.
It's not our fault.